Hi, in this video I will show you how to create a necklace using a bone pendant and beads. I will use black and white beads. For example, this is lava stone. And I'll also use some black and white wooden beads, and also beads in other shapes. As I said, this necklace will be black and white, and therefore it can be combined with any colors on the clothing. In order to make the necklace, I will use a double thread like this, and the length of the necklace itself will be about 36.5 centimeters to 37 centimeters. That would be about 14.5 inches. In order to be able to create the knots and put the beads on a needle, I will add a few more inches, 1 or 2 or maximum 3 inches of thread to my two threads, and this way I will have enough thread to create knots and to hold the necklace when I add the beads. So now let's talk about the findings that we shall use and the tools. First of all, let's talk about the tools. So I have here some of the tools that I will be using. For the thread, I will use a pair of scissors and a lighter. And for the metal findings, I will use a pair of chain nose pliers, a jump ring opener. I can also use, if necessary, another pair of pliers to open and to close the jump rings, and I can use, for the crimps, I can use the crimping pliers or the chain nose pliers. In order to combine all those beads and attach the pendant, I will need some findings too. And let's talk about the findings now. Let's begin with the closure of the necklace. To close the necklace and to open and close the necklace, I will use this S clasp and some jump rings. For the end of the necklace, I will use these bead ends. And some crimps. And now, let's begin making the necklace. Unlike in the case of other necklaces, with this necklace I will use two threads, because I have these pointed beads, these canine shaped beads, which have two orifices, so I will use two threads for my entire necklace. I will take the two threads and I will put them through my pendant, my bone pendant. I will use the big eye beading needle. So this is the needle that we need. I will put the 2 threads through the needle, so I just open the needle like this, put the 2 threads through the needle, and I will put the needle through this orifice of the pendant, and now I will find the middle of my pendant. First of all, let's put the 4 yarns through the needle. I will take one of those crimps So let's take one of the crimps and I will put, with the needle, I will put the crimp on my needle like this. This way. And I have brought the crimp over here. And now I will find the middle of my two threads. This way. And I will press on the crimp. Now I will take the yarns and make an overhand knot above the crimp. I will pull on each of the threads like this. And now that I have made a knot above the crimp, I will take the threads, put them on the needle, and I will take one of those beads, put it also on the needle, and I'll put it on the threads, and I bring it down here, and this way the bead covers the crimp and the knot. Now I can remove the needle. And now I will separate the thread in 2 threads, and I will start adding the beads on each of the 2 threads. So I put the thread on my needle and I will start adding beads. So I added the first 2 beads. Now I will put one of those white beads, a lava stone bead, a teardrop shaped lava stone bead, another white bead, two black beads, and now I will put the first tooth-shaped bead with 2 orifices. I will put one thread through one of the holes and a second thread through the other. Like this. And now I will continue adding the wooden beads. Again, I put the thread on my needle and I will continue adding those beads. I'll put some white beads too. A white, a black and a white bead. Like this. Again some black beads. Some more black and white beads. And the rest of the black beads. Like this. So now we have finished one half of the necklace. The next step will be to add the bead end. So I will again put the threads on the needle and put the bead end on the needle too, like this. In order to block the thread and to stop the beads from sliding out from the thread, I will use one of those crimps. And I will put the crimp, but on a single thread, not on both threads. So I will put the thread through the needle, and I will put the crimp on only one of the two threads, like this. So as you can see here, I have the bead end and the crimp is here. Now I will make sure that the beads are not too close to each other, but also not too far to each other, because if they are too far from each other, the thread will be visible. If they are too compressed like this, they will look rigid. So we want them to be neither too close nor too far from each other. So we can just lift the beads, hang the beads like this, so that they order themselves one over the other. And now I will take the two threads and make a few knots, making sure that in between the two knots we will have our crimp. So I'll make one knot, another knot, a third knot, perhaps a fourth knot, and these knots, as you can see here, they hold the crimp in place, and this way our beads will not fall off the thread. Now I will take the scissors, cut the thread, and I will burn the end of the thread. Like this. So as you can see, I burned the end of the thread that I cut. And now I can take the pliers and close the bead. The bead end. Like this. And now I will take one of those jump rings. I will take the pliers, the chain nose pliers and the jump ring opener, and I will open this jump ring. I will put the jump ring on the S clasp, and I will put it on the bead end. And now I will close the jump ring like this, and I have attached the S clasp. And as you can see, half of our necklace is ready. All we have to do is create the second half of the necklace, which must look symmetrical to the first. So I will take the other two threads, put the threads on the needle, and add the next beads in a symmetrical way. Now I have reached the pointed bead, and again I will separate the two threads, and I will put one thread through each of the holes of the bead. And now let's continue with both threads being put on the needle, because all the other beads are wooden beads. now the beads have been added to the thread. Now I will put the bead end. Now I will put the bead on the thread. I will remove one thread. Then I will take the crimp, put the crimp on only one of the two threads. This way. Now I can remove the needle and again, let's see from a closer distance. Again we have the crimp on one of the threads, the bead end here, and the two threads. Now I will use the two threads to make a knot. Before that I will lift the thread so that the beads arrange themselves alone on the thread, so that they are not too tight to each other, too compressed, nor too loose, so that they are not too rigid, nor that we can see the thread. And now I will make a few knots here, and those knots will be masked by our bead end. Now that I have made a few knots, I will cut the thread like this. I will put the two threads away. I will take the lighter and burn the end of the thread. Like this. I will take the pliers, close the bead end, this way, and I will put the second jump ring on the bead end. So I will open it again with the pliers and the jump ring opener and put it on the bead end here, this way. like this. And now I will close the necklace, and let's see what the finished necklace looks like. So this is the finished necklace. We have the wooden beads, the S-clasp as a closure, the lava stone beads in the shape of a teardrop, and the bone pendant. So I hope you liked the video, and thank you for watching. I will show you how to create a necklace using metal charms and pendants. I will use this metal pendant, these metal charms in the shape of feathers, and black and white beads. So these are 6mm beads. They are wooden beads. So this is the natural color of wood, and these are painted in black. To make the necklace, I will also need some thread, and I have chosen this black nylon thread. As a closure, I have chosen this ornamental closure, and in order to assemble these parts, I will need some findings. For the end of the necklace, I will use these bead ends, bead tips. I will need some crimps, and some jump rings. And beside the jump rings, the findings, in order to make a necklace, we need tools. I will talk a bit about the tools that we shall use. So, as you can see here, we have different types of pliers. The type of pliers that we use the most often with jewelry is this type of plier, which is pointed here and has no teeth here, and it is called the chain nose pliers. So these pliers are called the chain nose pliers. They are flat here without teeth, so that they do not scratch the findings. Here I have another type of pliers that I might use in case I want to open and close, for example, the jump rings. Also for the jump rings, I need this jump ring opener. For the crimps, I might use either the crimping pliers or the chain nose pliers. To measure the length of the necklace, I will use the measuring tape. As you can see, it is in centimeters and in inches. And for the thread, I will need the scissors and the lighter. And in order to put the beads on the thread, I will use the big eye beading needle. So let's remove the needle from the package. And now, let's talk about the length of the necklace. For a normal necklace around the neck for a woman, I usually choose a necklace of about 36 centimeters. That would be about 14 inches. If you want to make a necklace around the neck, but for men, you can add 1.5 or 2 inches. That would be between 40 and 42 centimeters long for men. So for women, it's 36 centimeters, that is 14 inches, and for men, you can make it 40 to 42 centimeters, that would be 16 or 17 inches. Of course, whenever you create a necklace for somebody you know, you should measure exactly the length that the person prefers for the necklace. And now let's begin with creating the necklace. We shall take the thread, and as the first step, I will make a few knots. So I will make these knots at the end of my thread, so that the beads do not fall off the thread. Like this. This way. Now, as you can see, I have, let's see from a closer distance, I have this. Let's move the beads and the findings away so that we can see what we are doing. Like this. We have the end of the thread here, so I can cut a little bit of this end of the thread here, and with the lighter I will burn the end of the thread, and by burning the nylon thread it will melt and stick to the knot so that the knot will be more resistant. And now let's put the thread on the needle. When you put the thread on the needle, you should remember that the needle may be a little sharp on the inside here, and it might cut a bit of the thread. So whenever you choose some thread, you should make sure that you add 3 or 3.5 inches as length to the length of the necklace that you want. So if you have a necklace of 14 inches, so the entire necklace should be not longer than 14 inches, then you can add 3 inches or 3.5 inches to the thread so that you can make the knots at the end of the thread, and also cut a bit of the thread, because as I told you, the place where the thread goes through the needle, the thread may be cut a little bit because the needle is sharp inside here. So you should be able to cut off the damaged part of the thread, the part that is damaged by the needle. And now I will take one of those crimps So I've taken 2 crimps, and I will put one of the crimps on my needle this way. And I'll bring and the crimp should stop at the point where the knot is. And here I'm going to press on the crimp this way, and as you can see, our crimp is now flat, so it will not slip over the knot, and it also blocked the thread, and it will not move up and down on the thread anymore. Now I will take one of those bead end caps and put it on our needle this way, and you will see that because of the crimp and the knot, the thread will stop like this, and it will not come out through the orifice of the bead cap. And now let's close the bead end, this bead end, with the pliers, so that the knot and the crimp are no longer visible. So this bead at the end of my necklace is masking the knot at the end of the thread. And now let's take one of those jump rings So I will take this jump ring, grab it with the pliers, with the chain nose pliers, and with the jump ring opener and the chain nose pliers, I have opened the jump ring and I will put it through my bead end. Now I will also put the closure, the clasp, inside the jump ring, and now we can close the jump ring. So I can use either the jump ring opener or the other pair of pliers to close the jump ring. And now, as you can see, the end of our necklace is finished. And now we can start putting the beads on our thread and creating the necklace. So I will begin with the white beads, and I will alternate black and white beads. So I put 3 white beads. So 3 white beads, a black bead, 3 white beads, a black bead. And I will continue until I reach the middle. I get closer to the middle of the necklace. And now I will start adding the metal pendants. I will put the small feather pendant. Now I will put a white and a black, so 2 white beads and a black bead. I will put the next feather pendant, the larger feather pendant, again a white bead, a black bead and another white bead. I'll put one more white bead, and now I have reached the middle of the pendant, and I will put the half moon ornament, the half moon pendant. I will put 2 white beads, 1 black bead, and another white bead. This way. So what we have to take into consideration is that our beads and pendants must be placed symmetrically. I'll put the second pendant. Again, a white, a black, and a white bead. And the last pendant, the small metal pendant. Like this. So we have finished the ornamental part with the pendants and with the metal charms, and we can continue adding beads by following the rule of the beads from this point to this point. So I will add 3 white beads, then a black bead, and so on. Like this. And now we have finished adding the beads, and all we have to do now is close the necklace. In order to close the necklace, I will take the bead end and I will open it, because we shall have to work inside of this bead end to create the knot at the end of our bead. So I put the bead on my needle and on the thread, and I will take the second crimp, put it on the needle, bring it inside the thread. Now I will remove the needle, and as you can see, let's see from a closer distance now. Like this. As you can see, now we have the bead end on our thread and the crimp. The crimp must be made flat by using the pliers, so that it will block the beads from coming out on this thread like this. When you decide where the crimp should be placed, you must take into consideration that the beads should not be too tight together, too compressed like this, because as you can see, if they are too compressed, the necklace is too rigid and it doesn't look good. The beads will not look nice. They will look somewhat like this. So some of them go up, some of them go down, if they are too compressed. If they are too loose, as you can see, the thread is visible. So when you decide where to put the crimp, you should take into consideration that the beads should not be too tight to one another, nor too loose. So you can leave about 1 millimeter of space on the thread and then press on the crimp. This way your beads have a little bit of space to move. Now I have pressed on my crimp and the crimp is pressing on the thread so that the beads will not come out. In order to make sure that this crimp does not move, you can also add a few knots above the crimp here at this point. So let's make a few knots here. So as you can see, the longer the thread is here, the easier it will be to create these knots. So it is always important to leave a few inches on the thread so that you can make these final knots on the thread of our necklace. So I made one knot, let's make another knot. So as you can see, I opened the bead cap so that I can make these knots here. That I have space, enough space to make the knots here. And now that I made some knots here, I will take the scissors, cut the thread, and I will burn the end of the thread this way. And now I can close the bead end. So now I've closed the bead end with the pliers. I will take the last jump ring I will open it. I will put the jump ring through the bead end like this. And I will put the and now I will put the clasp and close the jump ring. This way. And now let's see what our finished necklace looks like. So this is the finished necklace. So as you can see, I put 4 beads between the pendant and the feather charm, because the pendant is a bit wider here and there should be a symmetry between the ornaments. So this is the finished necklace. I hope you liked the necklace, I hope you liked the video, and thank you for watching. I will show you how to make a toggle clasp necklace using a metal charm, some beads. I will use coral and turquoise beads, a metal clasp, of course, toggle clasp, and I will also need some nylon cord. I have chosen this black nylon cord for the necklace. For the cord ends, I will use these spring ends and some jump rings. And the last finding that I will use is this eye pin. As tools, I will use different pliers. I have a chain nose plier, a pair of chain nose pliers, a pair of cutting pliers, and a pair of round nose pliers. The chain nose pliers are used for bending the wire and for opening and closing the jump rings. The cutting pliers are used for cutting the wire, whereas the round nose pliers, as you can see they are rounded here at the end, are used for creating loops, such as the loop on the eye pin. And now, I forgot to tell you, I will also use this jump ring opener for my jump rings. Now that we have talked about the tools, the findings, the beads that we need for this toggle necklace, toggle clasp necklace, let's begin making the necklace. Let's now create the necklace. I will take the nylon cord and I will take one of these cord ends and I will put the cord end like this on my nylon cord to prevent the nylon cord from coming out of my cord end. I will grab the end of this spring cord end and press on this spring end here, like this. And as you can see, the end of this spring cord end is pressing on my nylon cord. I will grab the end of this cord here, of the spring cord end, and I will lift the last ring of my spring cord end like this, so that I can attach the jump ring. Now, let's take one of those jump rings and I will open the jump ring, grabbing it with the pliers and with the jump ring opener, like this. And as you can see, I have opened the jump ring. Now, I will put the cord end on this jump ring, and I will also take half of the toggle clasp and also put it on my jump ring. Let's open the jump ring a bit more. Like this. And now let's close the jump ring using the same tools. I will take another pair of pliers and grab the jump ring like this. So for opening and closing the jump rings, you can use either two pairs of pliers, like these, or a pair of pliers and a jump ring opener like this. So as you can see, one end of my necklace is ready. So this part of the toggle clasp has been attached to the cord. And now we have this other end of the clasp. Again, I will take the spring cord end and put it on the black nylon cord, as you can see, and I will press on the end of this spring cord end this way, so that the nylon cord doesn't come out anymore, since the end of this spring cord end is pressing on the nylon cord. Again, I will lift the last ring this way with the pliers, and let's attach the other end of the toggle clasp. I will open the jump ring like this. I will put the jump ring on the cord end here and the toggle clasp too. I will grab the jump ring and close it. Like this. And I also attached the other end of the toggle clasp. And now let's see if I can close the necklace like this. So this toggle clasp will be worn in front on the neck in the front part, on the front part of the neck. And now let's add the ornaments. So our necklace with the toggle clasp is ready. Now the next step is to create the ornamentation of the necklace. So as you can see, I took an eye pin and I put my beads, 2 turquoise beads and a coral bead, on my eye pin. And now let's see how long the pin should be. So I will cut a little bit of this pin like this with the cutting pliers, like this. This way. And now I will bend this pin and I will make sure that the 2 loops will be in the same plane. So I will leave a bit, about a millimeter space between the last bead and the place where I will bend my pin, so that the last bead does not break. And now I will bend to 90 degrees my pin. As you can see, I bent the pin to 90 degrees. And now I will take the round nose pliers and start creating the loop. So I will grab the end of my pin and start rolling the pin. I will close the loop that I have created, like this. And as you can see, I have a loop on both ends of my beads. And the next step will be to attach the ornament. So I will attach the feather charm, metal charm. I will open the jump ring. I will put the metal charm on my jump ring. I will also put the beads on my jump ring and I will close. And as you can see, I have created the decoration of my necklace. And now I will take the toggle clasp and I will attach the decoration to my toggle clasp. So I will take the jump ring, I will open it, and I will put the jump ring on the toggle clasp this way, and I will also attach the feather pendant with the beads, and I will close my jump ring this way. And now let's see what the finished necklace looks like. Let's put the tools away. So this is the front part of my necklace. Let's see from a distance what my necklace looks like. So this will be a necklace around the neck. So it's not a long necklace, it's just around the neck, a short necklace. And this is what my necklace looks like, and this is the decoration, the pendant of the necklace. So I hope you liked this video, and I hope that you like the toggle clasp necklace. I will show you how to create a necklace and a pendant using metal beads, a pyrite bead, different other beads. I will use these small golden beads, a bead cap, and to make the necklace I will also need some findings and some tools. If you're ready, let's begin. First of all, we shall talk about what we need in order to create this necklace with pendant. So as I've just told you, we shall need some findings in order to connect our beads, and also some tools. So we shall need some findings to create the pendant and other findings to create the necklace. For the necklace, I will use some black nylon cord. I have chosen this thin nylon cord, and I will need some fold over cord ends for the necklace, some jump rings, and lobster claw clasp in order to close and open the necklace. For the pendant, I will need this head pin, and I will also use this snap-on bail. As tools, I will need pliers. These are the chain nose pliers, and you can recognize them because they are pointed here and because their surface is lacking any teeth. So as you can see, the surface is very smooth without teeth, so that it does not scratch our findings. I will also need a jump ring opener for the jump rings. And to make the pendant, we shall need these two pliers, the cutting pliers and the round nose pliers. The cutting pliers, as the name implies, are used for cutting metal and the wire of our pin. And the round nose pliers, because they are rounded here, they are used to create the loops. So we shall create the loop of our pendant. For the nylon string, I shall also use, if necessary, I shall use a pair of scissors and a lighter. In order to measure the length of our yarn, we can use a measuring tape. And now let's begin making our necklace with pendant. Let's begin with the pendant. So I will take first of all our head pin. As you can see, the head pin has this part here which looks like the end of a nail, and it stops the beads from sliding out of our pin. So I shall put the first bead on the head pin, and as you can see, it stops at the point where you have the end of the head pin, like this. And now I will add a bead cap, like this. I will add the pyrite bead. So this is a natural bead, a gemstone. Then I will add the metal bead, like this, and I will add another small bead to mark the end of the pendant. And now I have this part here. Let's see from a closer distance. This is where we have to make a loop. In order to make a loop, the first step will be to bend this wire of the head pin. So whenever you bend this wire, you must not bend it precisely above the last bead, because you risk to break this bead, especially if it is a small bead, if it is made of a gemstone or of plastic or glass. These beads can break easily if you do not let some space between the bead and the place where you bend. So I will let about 1 millimeter of space until the point where I bend the pin, and I will grab. As you can see, I have left 1 millimeter of space here, and I will bend the pin like this with the pliers, like this. So I bend the pin to 90 degrees like this, and now I will measure so that our pin is not too long when I create the loop. I will grab the tip of the pin and cut a little bit of this tip with the cutting pliers, like this. And now let's make the loop. In order to make the loop, I will take the round nose pliers, grab the tip of the pin and start rolling around the rounded tip of my round nose plier. So as you can see, I will roll this way until I have created this loop, like this. And now my pendant has a loop here. This way. Now I will take the bail and open it like this. As you can see, I have opened the bail. I will put the pendant on the bail and I will close it like this. And the pendant is ready. And now let's create the necklace. So I have these two ends of my string of the cord, and I will create a small knot here, exactly at the end of the cord. This way. And I will take the fold over cord end and fold it over the knot and the cord. Like this. So as you can see, I am pressing on the fold over cord end and especially on the lower part under the knot, so that it does not allow the knot to slide out. Like this. So the most important thing is to press on the lower part here so that the knot, which is larger, does not come out through this area. This way. So we have attached the fold over cord end, and now I shall take one of those jump rings and open it with the pliers and the jump ring opener this way. I will put it through my cord end here, and I will also take the lobster claw clasp and put it on the jump ring. Now I can close the jump ring. This way. And this end of my cord of the necklace is ready. Now we shall do the same steps on the other end of the necklace cord. So I'll begin with the knot. I'll put the knot again into the fold over cord end like this. I will close the fold over cord end like this. And again, I will press on the lower part of the fold over cord end to prevent the knot from slipping out. Like this. And again, I will take the jump ring and open it. I will put the jump ring on the fold over cord end and close it. This way. And now let's see if we can open and close the necklace. So the necklace is ready, and let's also add the pendant to the necklace. I will close the necklace again, and the pendant, the necklace with the pendant, is ready. So this is our finished necklace with pendant. So this is the finished necklace and pendant, and so I hope that you liked this video, and thank you for watching. I will show you how to make a necklace using this metal pendant. I chose a pendant in the shape of a coin, of a Greek coin, antique coin. And for the necklace I will also use some black nylon cord. As you can see, this will be a short necklace around the neck. To make this necklace I will only need a few findings and some tools. I will use a bail for the pendant, and for the necklace I will use a lobster claw clasp, some jump rings, and these spring cord ends. And as tools I will use a pair of pliers, these chain nose pliers, a jump ring opener. In case that I want to open the jump rings, I can also use a second pair of pliers. And if I want to cut from the cord, I will use the scissors and a lighter. And now let's begin by measuring the length of the cord. So as I said, this will be a short cord that will just go around the neck, and I chose a piece of cord that is about 34.5 centimeters long. That would be about 13.5 inches long. If you want to make a necklace for men, you can add about 1 or 1.5 inches. That would be about 38 centimeters. And now let's start making the necklace. So I will take the pendant and the bail, and as you can see, the bail has these little teeth here, and I will put the teeth into the orifice of my pendant like this, and I will press on the bail this way so that the teeth remain inside of this hole. This way. And the pendant will look this way. Now let's see the necklace. For the necklace I will take the nylon cord and one of those spring ends, cord ends. I will burn the cord end so that it fits into the spring cord end, and I will put the nylon cord into this cord end this way. I have only pressed it into the middle of the cord end, but if I would pull on the cord end, it would come out. So to prevent the cord from coming out of the cord end, I will take the pliers and press on the end of my spring cord end here. this way. So as you can see, this end here of the spring cord end is pressing into my nylon cord. Now the other end of my spring cord end has this little ring here, and I am going to lift the ring this way so that I can attach the jump ring on this ring here. I will put the pendant on the cord like this, and now I will also attach the second cord end to my cord. This way. Now again I will press on the end of the cord, spring cord end here, this way, and I will grab with the pliers. I will grab the ring and lift this way so that the ring becomes visible like this. And now I will take a jump ring and put it on this ring. I will open the jump ring with the jump ring opener and with the pliers. I'll put the jump ring here on this ring, and I will also put the lobster claw clasp. This way. And now I have attached the lobster claw clasp to the necklace so that it can be opened and closed. And the last step will be to attach the last ring, jump ring, the second jump ring, and close. This way. And now let's see what the closing system of the necklace looks like. So I will attach the ring to the lobster claw clasp, and the necklace is now closed. Now our necklace is ready, and let's see what the finished necklace looks like. So this is the finished necklace. I hope you liked this video, and thank you for watching. I will show you how to attach a piece of leather cord to a bone pendant in order to create a necklace. First of all, I will find the center of my leather cord, like this, and I will attach the leather cord. First of all, I will make a loop like this and attach it to my pendant, and now I will lift one of the part of the leather cord, and then I will cross the other one and also lift it like this. So as you can see, the cords are crossed over here and they go up towards the upper part of my pendant. And now I will create a knot over here so that the pendant doesn't fall out. I will make a loop like this. This way, so I have a loop, and I will take the leather cord and put it through the loop and pull it out like this through this loop in order to create this loop right above my pendant. This way. So this knot over here is going to hold my pendant in place. And now let's create some sliding knots on our cord so that we can open and close the necklace so that it can be hung around the neck. So I will stretch this cord and I will take the other cord and put it over the first cord. I will make a loop like this in the length of about 4 fingers, and I will place it above the other cord. And I will start turning the end of my cord like this. So I have this loop that I have created, and I will take this end of my cord and start turning it around the longer cord and keep this end of the loop like this. So I will need this little loop here. I will grab it with my fingers and I will start turning the leather cord around the other cord like this. This way. And now I only have this end of my leather cord here, and I will put it through my loop here. And now I will pull on the cord here, and as you can see, the loop is becoming smaller like this until it grabs the end of my leather cord like this. And I have created the first sliding knot. Now I will turn the necklace around so that we can make the second sliding knot as well. I I will again bend my cord like this, and I will start turning the end of my cord around the two cords like this. And now, after I have turned, let's see from a closer distance. Let's repeat. So so this is my necklace, and this is the end of my cord that comes from the other side. So I bend the cord like this. I will keep this loop here on the first cord like this. I will grab the loop with my fingers, and with the other cord I will create two loops. So one loop and the second loop, and I have the end of the cord here. Now I will put the end of the cord through my loop like this. So as you can see, I put the end of the cord through this loop, and I will now pull on my cord so that the knot will close like this. So when I pull on this cord, the loop is closing and it is pressing on the end of the cord, stopping it from opening. This way. And as you can see, let's see from a distance. So this is our finished necklace with the leather cord and with the sliding knots and the bone pendant. So I hope you like this video, and I hope that you know how to create sliding knots and how to attach a bone pendant which has no orifice here for hanging. So thank you for watching.